Anayar here again. Oh shoot, wait, where's GIMP? We're gonna start on our texturing tutorial today, and I know you guys are thinking another video, but the texturing thing was just a bit too hard to do, like with text. So let me know if you guys want a text tutorial too. So first thing we're gonna do is open up that UV map we created in the UV mapping tutorial. It should be well, you guys should have saved it under whatever name you put for it, and then also open up the there's a metal base texture included in the download. Open that up. I have it saved somewhere else, so yeah, metal base. There we go. It's called metal base.png. This is a hand textured metal tutorial. Measured map metal tutorial. Metal texture. So first thing we're gonna do is go back to the UV map and let me open up Milkshape real quick. Also open up Milkshape. So before we start texturing, we want Milkshape opened and to import the OBJ file we saved with the UV mapper. So let's open up Milkshape and import OBJ. It's taking a while. Alright, we can just browse right to it. Pictures and tutorial. Sorry about this, guys. Mailbox.obj. Open that up, and there's a mailbox. Let us go to materials. Now I'm going to teach you how to apply material. You hit new, you go to the materials tab in Milkshape, hit the new button, and this material 01 thing will pop up. You gotta go to where it says none here, right here, first one on top. Click on that and open up your texture. So I gotta find my texture again because all my stuff's opening up in different places. So we got to, nope, shoot, sorry about that, guys. Pictures. Like I said, this isn't my computer, so I'm not very familiar with the layout. And we'll open up. So now we're gonna apply the UV map to the texture. So, oh whoa, error downloading texture. What the hell? Let's try that one more time. Why don't we go to where we open it up in GIMP? I'm gonna save as and save it as. Oh, I see why. See here, you gotta follow my thing. This UV mapper saves everything as indexed. I think I have a tutorial for that in one of Captain Coder. I think it was Captain Coder's threads. So check that out. I'll include a link to that in this thread too. But anyways, you gotta Control+C to cut this. File, new. Make sure the new canvas is the same dimensions, 1024 by 512, and open it up. Make it full. Control+V to paste and anchor the layers. Actually, don't anchor the layer. Make it a new layer. And now we can go ahead and close that original mailbox UV and file, save as. And I like to save my stuff as mailbox. Actually, let me make a new thing. Texturing mailbox underscore d2.tga. I like to save my textures as TGAs and include the D2 thing so I can make all the required shader maps, which I'll have to decide depending on how much time this tutorial takes if we're going to go into that. So let's go back to the mailbox. Click on the none or the name, and now choose the mailbox underscore d2.tga that we made. Alright, now to assign a texture to a model, you got to select the part of the model you want to assign it to. We want to assign this to the whole model, so go ahead and press Control+A to select all, and then hit this nice little button called Assign. And there we go. Your model should make sure that you right click in the 3D viewport and make sure that textured is chosen so that you can actually see the textured effect. And here we go. UV map looks alright, no obvious stretching. So I think we can head on over and start texturing it. So now the reason I made this a new layer is so that we can go to press U in GIMP to bring up the what's it called, fuzzy select tool. This will select the one color, like regions with the same color. So click on that at anywhere where it's just white, where it's not UV space, and click and make sure it selects like this, and then hit delete. That way now press U and click anywhere outside the image border, and the selection will go away. Now if you turn off visibility by pressing the I button on the background layer, now you can see that it's just transparent underneath. So it helps, so we can just go press R, bring up rectangle, select, and start cutting away without actually having any of that white stuff along with it. So another helpful things about GIMP is Control plus A selects all, as in it selects a whole layer. Control plus Shift plus A selects none. And you can right click, and if your layer has transparency, hit alpha to selection to select just the outlines of the image, or it basically selects the image's alpha channel. We'll not getting into that in more detail. We'll get into that in more detail in some other tutorial. Anyways, let's cut out the part of the main mailbox. Press R to bring up the rectangle select tool, or just click here. Click the rectangle region thing on the toolbar, and start cutting out the we're gonna start cutting out the main mailbox part, just so that we can get that done with and out of the way. Make sure, so I like to zoom in here, make sure I'm not overlapping any edges, so zoom in about 200%. You give a nice clear view, and pull your selection back. Click on the selection to bring up this border and pull it back so it's only encompassing the selected area that you want. The area that you want selected. And now pull this down a bit too. We'll go back to view, revert zoom to 67%, which is what mine is set at. And now, because we have transparency, we don't get any of that white stuff, so we can just hit Control plus X directly, and that'll make it disappear. Then Control V, paste it right back where it was. Make sure though that once you press Control X, you don't go R and start messing around with the selection, because otherwise when you select it, paste it, the whole pasting, when you paste it, the whole selection will get moved. So just make sure that your selection is exactly as it is. All you do is Control X plus Control V. And now new layer. So now go back to that metal base I have included with this. It's not the best texture, it's just something I whipped up like in 10 minutes, so it's fine for this tutorial. If you guys want to use some other metal texture that you guys have, you can go ahead and do it, but I'm going to use this one for this tutorial. Anyways, Control plus C to cut this entire thing out, and go back to your mailbox, press Control plus V to paste it. You see there, it'll actually like only show the selection, but then you hit new layer and the whole thing comes up. Press M to move and start moving the just move the layer up, just position it somewhat, just so that it covers this part, this whole selection, so it covers this whole layer. And yeah, just move it, cover it, and go back to that pasted layer 1, Control and right click and click alpha to selection. Like I said, it'll select the layer's alpha channel. And I like to do right click and hit layer to image size, just so I can see better where on the metal base it's going to be selecting. And so now go back to the metal base, Control plus X cuts it out, Control plus V paste it back on. Make sure you don't move the selection around. And right click on the leftovers from the metal base and hit delete layer. So you're left with just that one mailbox cover and mailbox body. Now let's Control plus S to save this, because we already saved it as mailbox underscore d2.tga. It'll save it right back where it was. Now go back to Milkshape. Milkshape's a pain. I think there's a actually a plugin which does this, which automatically updates textures for you, but I don't have that installed at the moment, so I'm gonna have to manually keep selecting. Every time I make a change to a texture, I have to manually select it and reapply it. So here you can see, here's a mailbox with our base metal texture applied. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna add some more details later, but for now it looks, for laying down the bases, it looks perfectly fine. So let's go back. We forgot this part. So this part is also part of the mailbox border and body. Like by border I mean the I bought 3ds Max, so I haven't used this in a while. I'm gonna refamiliarize myself with this. So yeah, see this part, this is what I mean by the border. And anyways, let's go back. Press R, go back to the pasted layer with your, which contains your UV map, not the background layer, and cut that out. See, now it doesn't matter if you overlap this part. Like I can go all the way up. I can go all the way up here because this part's already cut out of the map, so it'll only cut this area, if that makes sense. Because if I take out visibility on there and take out visibility on there, so you can see there's nothing on that UV layer anymore. Anyways, Control plus X to cut that out, Control plus V to paste it, and let's go back to that metal base. Control plus C to cut it, Control plus V to paste it. Yeah, and then just press New Layer. Right click on that layer we just cut out. Right click, Alpha to Selection. And go back to the metal base layer. Control plus X, Control plus V. New Layer. Right click, Delete Layer. And bam. And now let's Control plus S again, so that we can save it. Go back to Milkshape. Now this whole face should be textured once I reload the texture. Click, bam, textured. We're gonna have to do some editing, because if you guys, I don't know if you'll be able to see very clearly on. Let's go to Window, Viewports. Go to Window, Viewports, 3 window, 2 left, 1 right. So we have a bigger view, and there you can see that seam, texture seam right there. We're gonna have to make some bigger, and possibly make the background layer black so that those seams cease to exist. My mouth is pretty dry, so as always, so bear with me. Anyways, now that we do this, we can see that that little box thing is annoying, and see, it's like it is in the texture of the mailbox, so it's flickering. So let's just select that and move it up out of the texture of the mailbox. So let's go to Groups, Handle, which selects that. Let's right click, Wireframe Overlay. No, well, apparently not. Click Handle to select that, and yeah, that selects that part. And go to Model, Move, go to the top left viewport, zoom in. Yeah, you can see there it's clearly overlapping, so let's just get that out so it's not completely overlapping. Actually, just move it back a bit so that the player can't see. Now overlapping's gone. Perfect. Alright, right click, remove wireframe overlay so that texture is more visible. To me, this texture looks a bit more like stone than metal, but for the purposes of this tutorial, that's fine. I don't see a problem with that for now. If I was actually making a model, I'd of course probably use a few photo references, or actually like paint a much better one. But this, I just needed to get this tutorial done, and it was on my mind because I've been getting a few emails lately. I won't name any names. Anyways, now that that part base is done, let's cut this. This is the bar support, so this part, as you can see from this, so let's cut that out. See, it doesn't matter. Now I can just select this whole thing without being too careful, and Control plus X, Control V, paste it. And we need a wood texture for this, so I mean, people like Genchef can hand paint wood. I'm not at their level, so I have to go find some photo references. I will be right back.